Have you ever wondered what it really takes to live to be 100? Well, today we're going to unlock that blueprint. We're diving deep into the science and, the secrets of the people who've actually done it.
Okay, so check this out. The number of people hitting that 100-year mark, it's literally exploding. Right now in the US, we're at about 100,000 centenarians. But get this, in just the next 30 years, that number is projected to quadruple. We're talking nearly 400,000. This isn't just some little trend, it's a massive, massive shift in our society.
So you got to ask, right? What's the secret? Are these people just winning the genetic lottery? Is it pure luck? Or is there something here that all of us can actually learn from? That's the big question we're tackling today. All right, the 100-year question. First things first, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. What does decades of research tell us about that classic debate, lifestyle versus genetics? There's this landmark study, the Danish twin study, and it gives us this incredible insight. It found that only about 20% of how long we live is actually baked into our genes. So what about the other 80%? Well, that's us. That's our lifestyle, our environment, our choices. Think about that for a second. That's huge. It means the vast majority of our longevity is actually in our control.
Okay, so if 80% is on us, where do we even begin? Well, let's start with the cornerstone, the absolute foundation of a long life. What's on the plate? And this right here reveals the core principle. When you look at these longevity hotspots around the world, they call them blue zones, you see this incredible pattern. Their diet is overwhelmingly like 95% plant-based. It's not that they never eat meat, but it's more like a special occasion thing, a treat, not the main event. So the whole food philosophy is actually super simple. You embrace stuff like beans, greens, nuts, and whole grains. And you cut way back on meat, dairy, sugar, and all that processed food. But if there's one superstar, one undisputed king of the centenarian diet, it's beans. Seriously, people in these blue zones eat on average 4 times as many beans as we do. They are the cornerstone, period.
Okay, but how do you make this practical?
Well, researchers came up with this brilliant, simple rule for your kitchen. The 4 always, 4 to avoid. The whole idea is to just engineer your environment for success. You keep the good stuff on hand, and you just don't bring the bad stuff into the house in the first place. Super simple, right?
But it goes deeper. It's not just what they eat, it's also how they eat. Take this Okinawan mantra, hara hachibu. It's this ancient wisdom that reminds them to stop eating when they feel about 80% full. Think about that. That little 20% gap practiced over a lifetime, that's the secret sauce to maintaining a healthy weight without even thinking about it. Okay, so food is obviously a huge piece of the puzzle, but it's only one piece. Real longevity is woven into the entire fabric of daily life. It's built on these other pillars, how you move, connect, and unwind.
And when we talk about movement, forget about the gym or running marathons. The world's longest-lived people don't really exercise in the way we think about it. They just live in environments that constantly nudge them to move. They're growing gardens, they're walking everywhere, they're doing yard work by hand. It's this constant, natural, low-intensity movement that's just baked right into their day. Now let's talk about a universal killer, stress. We all know it's bad, but it's the chronic inflammation it causes that's linked to pretty much every major age-related disease. But centenarians, they have a secret weapon. They call it the downshift. And every culture has its own flavor of it. For some, it's taking a nap. For others, it's prayer. Or, hey, even a happy hour with friends. The tool doesn't matter as much as the result. They have a routine to shed that stress every single day.
And this next one, it's so powerful. Having a clear sense of purpose. In Japan, they have a word for it. Ikigai. It basically means a reason to wake up in the morning. And get this, knowing your why can be worth up to 7 extra years of life expectancy. It's incredible.
And finally, and this is so important, longevity is a team sport. You can't do it alone. In Okinawa, they have this amazing tradition called moais. It's basically a group of 5 friends who commit to each other for life. It's this built-in, powerful social network. Because let's be real, the people you surround yourself with, they are one of the biggest predictors of your own health habits, for better or for worse. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time on that 80%, the stuff that's in our hands. But now it's time to talk about that other 20%. Let's talk about the genetic lottery. And honestly, this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. There are researchers at Boston University's New England Centenarian study who've spent the last 30 years, you heard that right, 30 years just investigating the genetics of these super-agers. And what they're finding is pretty much rewriting the rule book on aging. So here's the bottom line from all their work, and it's a big one. For most of us, good habits and a healthy lifestyle can probably get us to our 90s. But to cross that 100-year finish line, that often takes a little something extra, a special combination of protective genes.
So how does this genetic advantage actually work? Well, it's not what you think. It isn't that these superagers don't have the bad genes that promote disease. They do, just like the rest of us. The difference is they also have this rare combination of good genes that act like a genetic shield. This shield helps slow down aging and guards them against the big killers like Alzheimer's, cancer, and heart disease. It's amazing to think about, and yeah, it definitely runs in family.
Okay, so we have lifestyle on one hand, genetics on the other. So how do we put this all together for ourselves? The key thing to remember is that it's not lifestyle versus genes. It's about how they create this powerful interplay between them. And if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Think of it like a race. Your lifestyle choices, everything we just talked about, that's what gets you to the starting line of extreme longevity. It gets you in the game. But it's your genetics that can help you actually cross that finish line. Which brings us to maybe the single most powerful idea of all, something called the life radius. Think about it. Most of us spend 90% of our lives within a 5-mile circle around our home. So the real secret, the ultimate hack, is to shape that environment to make the healthy choice the easy choice. It's about designing a life where you don't need willpower because the healthy option is just right there.
And this is something every single one of us can do. We're talking about small, intentional changes, little nudges, like keeping a fruit bowl on the counter instead of a cookie jar, or using hand tools for your yard work instead of power tools, or creating your own moai by setting up a regular walk with friends who lift you up. These things seem tiny, but when they compound day after day, year after year, that's how you can add healthy decades to your life.
So when you boil it all down, the blueprint for living to 100 isn't some magic pill or complicated secret. It's about designing a life where being healthy is the default setting. It's that simple. So I'll leave you with this question. What's the one change, just one, that you can make to your life radius today?